We will begin this morning with a proclamation recognizing the Office of Consumer Protection's 50th anniversary. I'm so proud to be joined by County Executive Elrich and Councilmember Katz. I'll just say at the beginning how important the work of Eric Friedman and his whole staff is to everyone in the county. Consumer issues have been really important to me for a very long time. The first campaign I ever worked on, I was going door to door to fight to prevent electric ratepayers from being stuck with the stranded costs of a failed nuclear reactor that never came online. And I've tried to stay involved ever since, including working 3 years at the U.S. Consumer Protection Product Safety Commission on the saferproducts.gov website, which everybody should check out if you haven't. We have such a sort of under-recognized powerhouse in the Office of Consumer Protection. They punch way above their weight. They protect hundreds and thousands of consumers each year, and they're one of only two in the state. Howard County and Montgomery County. And I've really been grateful to Eric and his staff's work on so many bills that I had sponsored at the state level and at the county level, and for so much great constituent service that they provide. I just wanted to add that at the beginning because I had to miss the event yesterday, but I'm really grateful to you, Eric, for all your work and your staffs, and really want to wish you all the best on your 50th anniversary. Looking forward to the next 50 years. County Executive.
So I want to start by thanking Erica. You've led this office since 2007. I was looking at the original news release about the creation of this office. It was the first, I think one of the first things that was done by the new council and executive when this office was created by them. And the county council's stated goal at the time was to strike a blow on behalf of each and every citizen of Montgomery County. And I think everybody can agree that in 5 decades, the Office of Consumer Protection has met and exceeded that goal. I think of all the issues you've been in, the folks you've worked with, I think, the thing we remember, most recently was this whole battle over predatory towing and, how people were just getting nailed for stopping and leaving the car for a minute and, inadequate signage. All these things that, had infuriated residents, and you were able to come in and help us get that situation righted. You got national attention for that, and it was well-deserved, and it was a problem nationwide. And so the work you were able to do here helped model actions for other jurisdictions. You've enforced laws that prohibit unfair trade and deceptive trade practices, and you've worked to maintain a fair marketplace for consumers and merchants. You have an investigative arm. You've enacted, administered, and enforced the first local laws in the county requiring each newly constructed home to be covered by a warranty program. This was a big problem with people buying homes and discovering there were problems and finding there was actually no warranty on a home. And I can just imagine spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a house and then discovering that nothing in that house was warranted. So that was an amazing step forward. And you've helped resolve thousands of individual complaints, return millions of dollars to consumers. You've initiated lawsuits or legal actions on behalf of consumers against an auto dealership, a plumbing firm, and new home builders. And the Office of Consumer Protection protects more than residents. It's also offered free mediation services for businesses to resolve disputes with other businesses. So now we've entrusted oversight of the public financing program for candidates seeking office to the Office of Consumer Protection. You've got a lot on your plate. Your people are always busy. But I really appreciate the work you do. You've been a champion for all of the county's diverse residents. You've educated and protected our senior citizens, and you've helped those who could not help themselves when it comes to dealing with unfair merchants and trying to fight off scams. We are really fortunate to be one of the few local governments in America and one of 2 in the state of Maryland that operates its own consumer protection operation that has a record of achievement like your office does. So I want to thank you for your service, your leadership, and I want to thank the entire office for 50 years of protecting Montgomery County citizens.
Well, thank you, Council President and County Executive, and I too am truly honored, and it's really a pleasure to present this proclamation along with both of you. the Office of Consumer Protection for their 50th anniversary. It was established in 1971, as was mentioned. It always concerns me that 1971 is already 50 years ago. It didn't take long for that to happen, it seems. But they were established to enforce consumer protection laws, which prohibit unfair and deceptive business practices, and to ensure a fair marketplace for all consumers and businesses. And I think it's important to recognize that they also are supportive of businesses that are not doing the wrong things. And that is also helpful to all of us, to those businesses and to the consumers. There are numerous activities to help residents include, as has been mentioned, complaint resolution, business registration, law enforcement, education, legislation, advocacy, and an outreach to vulnerable consumers. During the pandemic, they provided alerts and information regarding the pandemic-related consumer scams, and unfortunately, there are plenty of those, and altered consumer and restaurants and alerted consumers and restaurants about the costly fee structure of major food delivery apps. The office obviously has won national awards, and they should. And we're so proud and fortunate to have them as a part of Montgomery County government. I'd like to especially thank my friend and director, Eric Friedman, for his leadership with a sense of humor. And any of you, and we've put on several seminars where Eric and his team have come and spoken to groups, and they do it in a very informative, but also a very interesting way. They have great professionalism, and their hard work leading the office shows each and every day. So to Eric Friedman, who truly embodies what it means to be a public servant, and we thank him and his entire team, and we need to underline both for their dedication to the residents and businesses of Montgomery County. And with that, Eric, we're going to turn it over to you if you have a few words to say, and then the council president and county executive and I actually are going to read a proclamation.
Well, thank you so much. This is truly a team effort. We could not have done what we've been doing for the last 50 years, but for the support of the county council and the county executive's office. We recognize that we cannot rest on our reputation for the next 50 years. And we're grateful that we have such a vibrant and active consumer protection office in Montgomery County. It adds to the quality of life for everyone, residents, merchants, to maintain integrity in our marketplace. We've always loved the phrase punching above our weight. And maybe we should have made punching bags part of our logo, but we didn't. Well, it is a handshake, because we all know that trust is the underpinning of every consumer transaction, whether you have a handshake or a 100-page written contract. But again, the marketplace is changing so rapidly, we have to keep up with the scams. And the only way we can do it is as a team effort. We're blessed to have such dedicated investigators in our office, and we're so grateful to have the support of the county council and the county executive's office. Thank you so much.
Stop by my office, Eric, for a little prep.
Wow.
Okay.
And with that, I guess we should begin with the fellow with the punching bag there. So
Okay.
Council President, why don't you lead off the proclamation, then we'll go to the county exec, and then me, and then we'll rotate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, well-deserved, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. This is a proclamation from Montgomery County, Maryland, whereas in 1971, Montgomery County's newly created county council unanimously enacted Bill 271 to establish Montgomery County's Office of Consumer Affairs to eliminate consumer fraud and deceptive and unfair trade practices. And
whereas the Office of Consumer Affairs first opened its doors to the public on December 6, 1971, was renamed the Office of Consumer Protection, or the OCP, in 2006, and is a civil law enforcement principal agency within Montgomery County's public safety cluster of departments. And
whereas during the past 50 years, the OCP has investigated and resolved thousands of marketplace disputes, identified and issued hundreds of alerts to consumers and merchants regarding deceptive trade practices and scams, provided consumer education in multiple languages, enforced several laws covering new home builders, auto repair, and towing firms, radon disclosure, home sales contracts, domestic worker contracts, energy and environmental issues, emergency medical transport service fees, and most recently, public campaign financing and election fund information services. And
whereas the OCP has received national recognition and media attention, being quoted in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, U.S. News and World Report, and appearing on NBC's Today Show and Dateline, ABC's 2020 and Primetime Live, CBS's Good Morning America and 48 Hours, and National Public Radio. And
whereas as a local government consumer protection agency working in collaboration with the Maryland Attorney General's office and other county, state, and federal departments and nonprofit agencies, the OCP strives to provide the highest level of customer service dedicated to ensuring integrity in our marketplace with dedicated, driven, and steadfast staff and volunteers who have and continue to provide stability, reliability, and service to Montgomery County residents.
now therefore be it resolved that County Council President Tom Hucker, County Executive Mark Elrich, and Sidney Katz as council member of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby recognize and honor the Office of Consumer Protection for 50 years of service for its dedication to providing solutions to the needs of local consumers and merchants by declaring the first week of December Local Consumer Protection Week. And it's signed today. Congratulations, and thank you for all that you do.